Okay. So today I have to do a YouTube video. Why? Because I've been wanting to do YouTube videos for like maybe the last 2-3 years, and for some reason I'm getting in my own way about it. I have been getting in my own way about it, and just telling myself that I can't, and so therefore I won't. It's a really good way to pursue any sort of passion or dream in life, is to just constantly be the person that tells yourself no. Anyway, doing a challenge with my friends right now where we're posting a video a week. They're doing vlogs and I'm doing God knows what. I never know. We'll figure it out as we go. But today, for my first video, I thought I would do just some reaction, some am I the asshole sort of stuff, but with a little twist. Specifically in the realm of people who are polyamorous or dealing with polyamorous issues. I'm not really sure where I want this channel to go exactly, but I figured we can get started with something light. It's gonna go to r/polyamory. I need to share some opinions. I love having an opinion. Okay, poly version. Am I the asshole? I started dating a new person this year and we've been together for about 10 months. I'm already adding words. Not super actively seeing each other. Okay, can I read? Oh no, I can't do this because I can't read. Okay, I started dating a new person this year and we've been together about 10 months, not super actively seeing other people. I have a very robust community of long-term friends that I love and have known most of probably 7 to 15 years, and they are more poly/open-minded folks. Hey, King. Hey. Queen? Hey, person. Give me your friend group. Give it to me now. Give me that friend group. Since my partner started dating me, he really only seems to want to hang out with my community. I do want him to be friends with my friends, but I've started feeling an insecurity that he chose me because he knew I had a big social life, and it sits weird with me. What? He just told me he had a crush on one of my friends, and I feel a lot more bummed about it than I wish I did. But the previous insecurity mentioned is something I had voiced to him before that. I've had an ex essentially tell me that his biggest fear about losing me was losing my social life I've given him. I've also had friends of mine who met through me totally abandon their friendships with me for each other. Logically, he's a very sweet dude, but I really wish my immediate friend group I introduced him to was not his first choice for a dating pool. I do kind of want to know if I'm the first. There's a lot going on here, okay? Are you poly? That's really the only question that I have here. And like, if you're not, then perhaps it's a deal breaker for you personally if he likes someone, period, and a story, whether they're your friend or not. If you are poly and you're just upset about it being a friend that he likes, you can make new friends. You can find a new man, you can make new friends. If these people are not supposed to be in your life, then they're not gonna be in your life. Let them do their thing. Let the people make their choices. And I think it's just way better if you just have everything out in the open, on the plate. No one's trying to like hide how they feel because someone might react a certain way. Just be honest. If it just gets too messy, I don't know. Can't we be adults? Can we just talk about it? Let's see what the comments are saying. Messy. Do I have anybody that I wouldn't date because it would be too messy? Okay, let's see. If I was dating somebody and they were like really close friends with or started to date my friend, then at the end, like, the question is, does that contention happen because of the messiness, or was there just like, that was your beautiful time as friends and like decisions were made and people went after what they wanted, and that's just like, there's so many ways to lose a friend. There's so many ways to grow out of friendships. There's so many, you can't hold on to people as much as you might like, right? So I'm just kind of like, Go ahead. Live your life. Like, the people that I really would not want to lose in life, I don't think a messy relationship is going to break that kind of a bond. I just don't see that ever happen. Anyway, okay. The only way to be a asshole here is not to discuss the issue, to ignore your misgivings and pretend everything's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, no regrets except that one. Yeah, no wonder you're a top 1% commenter. I hard agree. Hard agree. Yeah, just talk about what you feel. Talk it out, okay? It's really that easy. Okay, we're moving on. What's another one? I spent a lot of time in polyamory groups, obviously. Okay, so I inevitably come across people who are new to the whole idea who have questions. This is pretty typical, I think. I put in some effort to help answer those questions. I see it as guiding newbies along the path towards being experienced members of the community we all share. When I give that advice, though, I usually include a little caveat at the end where I recommend that people read at least 2 books on polyamory before trying to dive into a polyamorous relationship. This isn't a hard rule, but it was how I personally started out, and it worked out well enough for me. It honestly feels like good advice, in my opinion. That would make sense because you're the one giving it. So why would you be dishing out advice? Anyway, a few times in a few groups, though, people reacted poorly to this advice. I hate reading. The general sentiment is that they already know who they want to date and how they want to date them, so there's no reason to read books. This does tend to come from people in established relationships trying to add a third, so I take it with a grain of salt. But I was just thinking about it today and wanted to, oh no, I'm always down for research. I think you cannot be worse off with more information at your hands. Even if the books are talking about like language that you can use to more easily put into words what you're feeling or the dynamics that you're going through. Girl, read a book. Read a book. Why are you mad about having to read a book? You should want to. If you want to do it correctly, you should want to learn from people who are scholars in the area or whatever. Which books? Polysecure, Ethical Slut, Opening Up, Okay, you know what? I might get these. I might do some reading myself. Yes. Not the asshole. That one was easy. God, I'm so good at this. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, am I the asshole because I don't want to be poly? I've been in a relationship with my partner for about 6 years. I've never had a relationship last that long. Yikes. The past 2 or 3 years, I've been feeling a lot of pressure from him to open our relationship. 2 years ago, I kind of understood because I was in grad school and didn't have a lot of time/space to offer as I was working towards my degree. I tried to open up a bit, like allowing sexting, digital communication, cam girls, etc. I just wasn't comfortable in person. This was okay for me. I didn't experience much jealousy or anxiety around digital communication. Interesting, putting a pin in that. He kept pushing for more and eventually went on a date with someone. They ended up making out, even after he agreed to just going on the date with no physical aspect. I was already uncomfortable with the situation and wanted to ease into it. He hid this from me for weeks and kept pressuring me to be more open and let him do more, like kissing, being physical. This hurts. I feel queasy. I don't like this. With the pressure of grad school and the stress this was adding, I couldn't deal with it. He agreed to be mono again, and we had been that way since this January. He began sexting someone he'd hooked up with in college. I guess this was a final straw for me. After years of him wearing me down, I agreed to... No! When you said final straw, I thought you meant like, okay, we're not compatible. Hey! When men found out I had a partner, it just felt like an easy fuck to them. No one wanted to genuinely get to know me. He, on the other hand, formed a relationship with someone else very quickly. He was even saying that he'd fallen in love with her after 6 weeks of knowing her. This man doesn't like you. Get a new man. Yeah, wow. Okay, hold on. Before I even finish reading this, let's go back to this pen. I think there's a strange misconception that if you feel jealousy in poly, then you're not cut out for it, or you're doing it wrong, or like something is wrong. Jealousy is normal. I get jealous when I see someone eating a good dessert that I don't have. I get jealous when I see someone who has more money than me walking down the street. So much jealousy can exist in life, and it doesn't mean that that's gonna like break your bond with someone, right? Like, it just means that there is a want, there's a need there, and that you can find a way to figure out how to fulfill that need. On the other hand, if you have such high anxiety around opening up your relationship, you don't have to. Like, not everyone's poly. That's it. Just like, you don't have to push something that you don't want to do. Even if you even are one of these people who are like, naturally everybody actually is poly and we've just been conditioned to be, monogamous and whatever. Okay, so the person's conditioned. Don't be in a relationship that makes you continuously uncomfortable. If there is no communication, if there are breaking of boundaries, if there is no way to repair hurt that has happened, it's not for you. Let it go. My God. Now, the most alarming thing here is that he's not just wanting to be poly and you're dragging your heels or whatever, and that's where the contention is. He's pushing you into poly in a way that is very, very unhealthy, which is maybe I'll just go do it, even if you say no, and then we can like figure out how to repair it afterwards. That's not how that works. To me, cheating is a breaking of trust, right? It's a breaking of an agreement. It's crossing a boundary that has been set. So to me, he's cheating. He's not being polyamorous. Polyamorous is consensual. Period. I asked if we could slow things down because I felt like everything was moving so fast and I was becoming very uncomfortable. I've been mono my whole life and I don't feel like I was prepared for this level of openness to happen so fast. Me expressing this caused a huge blow up in our... But leave him! Ugh. This is so hard, emotionally draining. Conversation happened 6 weeks ago. He says he doesn't want to end things with me because he genuinely loves me. No, he doesn't. He wouldn't be acting this way if he loved you. He wouldn't. Even polyamorous people real polyamorous people respect boundaries, right? The true respect of a boundary would be to be like, this isn't working anymore. This is, yeah, maybe you can love people and still break up with them because it's not working. Ugh. I'm at a point where I'm fed up, genuinely love him, want to be with him. Why? But our relationship feels like, sometimes I think people get really into like, I've been with you for so long that you start to conflate loyalty with love. And there is a lot of crossover. I think the Venn diagram is, nearly a circle. But get out of there. Get out of there. When was this posted? A year ago, girl. Get out of there. If your relationship feels like it's falling apart, I say let it fall, baby. Let it fall. He's angry? No. No. Yeah, he sounds mean. He sounds mean as hell. He's also like lying to you. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry that it's painful, but you didn't do anything wrong. You just discovered an incompatibility. Yeah. Agreed. I see reflection 9759. You ate with that. Can I upvote this? I don't know how Reddit works, actually. Anyways, divorcing my husband for... Whoa. This is a book. Ooh, and there's an update. I took advice from the... Maybe we should read the first post first. Would I be the asshole if I divorced my husband just for asking to be polyamorous? This is really upsetting me on all accounts, and I'm getting mixed opinions from the few real life people I've talked to about it, so I could use the advice of total strangers. I, 26F, and my husband, 27, young, have been married for just over a year and together for 4. I don't know why in my in my mind, when people say they're married, I think like 40-year-olds. I know that's not accurate. So many of my friends are married. Anyway, we spent a long time before getting married talking about what we wanted out of being married, so I thought we were on the same page about all the important things. That once happened to me with a roommate. I went in, did so many Zoom calls with this person. So many Zoom calls. So much communication, and then for all of it to just fall apart in practicality. But I do love him very much. He's sweet, helpful, and generally my dream partner until last week. Out of the blue, he sat down one night and said he wanted to talk about something. I thought it was just something minor he was frustrated about, or a bad day at work or something. Instead, he talked about how he found out that his best guy friend and his wife are polyamorous. He and his friends have been talking about it more, and he thinks he might like to try it, and wondered what I thought. Felt instantly sick to my stomach. Okay, jumping ahead. If it had stopped there, I don't think it would have gotten so bad, but then he asked if I would read about it and then decide. I said no. I already know how I feel about it. Okay, but yep. Again, why are people so against reading or just like learning about the things that their partner brings up? Not every single situation is going to look the same either, right? Like people can have different dynamics, and maybe, if you haven't read up on it, you don't know what those options are. You don't know if you're just thinking, oh, this is what it's going to look like, and that's a hell no in my mind. But like, what if it doesn't have to look that way? Maybe just read a little bit. I don't know. He asked if I would at least think about it, and for some reason, that just did something to me. Like instant revulsion, kind of upset. I got up and told him that I was too upset to keep talking, and then I needed some space, so I would sleep in the guest room that night and we could talk later. Ever since that night, I have the biggest ick anytime I see him. He keeps trying to backtrack, but I know he meant what he said about wanting to be polyamorous. It's not so much that he brought it up, it's the two other asked after I already said I would never be comfortable with it. It's like that didn't matter to him. He thought he can convince me, and it makes me feel awful. What else is he going to pressure me about if I say no? Okay, as opposed to the last one we read, I don't know if that one was really pressuring. He sat you down to have a conversation. You kind of shut him down immediately. So I don't think having multiple requests for you to think about it or take it seriously is like pressuring you. If he wants to sleep with someone else, how can I ever trust him not to do it behind my back? Damn. People are getting married to people that they don't trust, which is crazy. Okay, I'm still sleeping in the guest room, and I'm thinking of just asking for a divorce now when it would be simpler to divide everything up and go our separate ways instead of waiting until years down the line when I get my heart broken. I mean, fair enough. He could go do whatever he wants, and I could go find someone who just wants a good, solid, monogamous relationship. Good American! While I do still love him, I don't think I can ever unhear or unsee my husband asking me for an open relationship, and the idea of him touching me makes me feel ill. Okay, then yeah. He's upset and frustrated that I'm punishing him for asking a question, but I honestly don't know what he expected to happen. He came to you with, my friends do this. It's possible. Do you think that we could do it? Why is that so sinful? Why is that so punishable? His friends wait. Oh, why did we jump to suddenly getting an STI test? Do people think that he was cheating and that he only asked because he wanted to cheat openly? Okay, gosh, this got a lot of replies. I'm reading through them as fast as I can. Gonna take the advice to get an STI test. I don't think he would physically cheat, but better safe than sorry. I do think there is probably someone he's interested in, possibly his friend's wife, or maybe even his friend. He's never expressed being bisexual, but that doesn't mean he isn't. Whoa. How are you guys married to people you don't know? At the same time, if you know that it's not going to work for you, in no, I mean as like you won't try. I don't understand being mad at him for continuing to ask, but if you're not ever going to try, break it off. Break it off. La 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 la. He doesn't think counseling is necessary. Okay. He wants to just go back to the way things were. Well, if you want to, then probably you need counseling. I told him that's not an option. You can't break a bone. It has to heal. I asked him if he had someone in mind. He said no, but he's not a very good liar, and I don't really believe him. How long have they married? A year? Just over a year. Together for 4. I think low-key, she is and she isn't. I think the reaction, the like visceral reaction, the level of disgust that she has, as well as the way that she was like immediately no, and I'm mad at you for even continuing to ask. At the same time, if it's not gonna work for you, it's not gonna work for you. Get your divorce, girl. Go ahead. They see it as a bomb that was dropped on her. I can understand that you would think that if you've never considered polyamory and maybe you've been conditioned to see it as like cheating your whole life, then yeah, you would probably have a very emotional way of reacting to it. But I think that's why he was like, would you consider reading about it? I just don't understand people who are so like, I'm trying to think if there's anything in my life where if like my partner came up to me and was like, consider this, and I was like, no, and they were like, read on it, I'd still be like, no. I think I would consider almost anything. Like, it'd have to go to like some really strange shit for me to be like, I see you differently and now we're divorcing. You know, it'd have to be like evil. Okay, so that's that original one. Yeah, obviously your STI. Why would people jumping to STI panels? Okay, hold on. He is being overly protective of his phone after I asked to see a message conversation between him and his poly friend to understand the context of the situation. I would not violate his privacy, but there is something clearly is something he doesn't want me to see, and that's enough. It doesn't matter to me anymore whether there is something already in progress or just the desire for there to be. The shadiness of his behavior tells me what I need to know. I've been tempted to contact his friends directly to get their take, but in the event there is infidelity happening, I would rather not burden blah, 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 blah. Heartbroken, convinced this is the best move, not a happy ending. Heart to heart with my grandparents. Grandparents. The lease on our apartment is up in a couple of months. Easy peasy. Everything's aligning. The universe is synergistically ready for you guys to get divorced. Here we go. Edit. Well, affair confirmed. The people who thought his poly friends were the ones involved called it right. Hello? What does that say? The people who thought his poly friends were the ones involved called it right. Okay. Wife contacted me to come clean and apologize because they were both unaware I didn't know until now. They thought we had a don't ask, don't tell situation, so no fault to them. He lied to them too. It's been going on for a few months. But I was on your side. I thought you were genuine. The saddest part to me is that he's been a closeted bisexual all this time. He could have told me at any point. That's the saddest part. He could have told me at any point in the relationship and I would have supported him or helped him get whatever support he needs. He clearly needed to make out with a man, is what he needed. Oh my God. Okay. Hey, hey. Okay, last one. Am I the asshole for not wanting my polycule parents at my wedding? My parents are in a polycule relationship with a man. Yes. Yes. I've always been mildly uncomfortable with it. Comfortable with it just due to a variety of features about the whole thing. For starters, the man is as young as I am. And he basically now lives in my former room growing up. I don't say anything. I don't say anything as it's their life and they can live it as they like. But I'll be completely honest here. All of it sort of I can't speak or read. All of it sort of discomforts me. Nevertheless, I have my own life and I still love them and I try not to think of that in any capacity. They are happy and that's good for them. With that background out of the way, I'm getting married soon and I want my parents to be there, of course. They were happy for me. It was great. Then my significant other and I got to arranging everything for the wedding and we eventually began arranging the seating. I wanted to run my seating plan by my parents as they know some people better, so I emailed it to them and asked them to look it over. They looked at it and then they called me that I had missed a seat for Dave. Fake name for their significant other. I told them I didn't think Dave would be coming. They said they would all be coming, and I said I'm not sure if that's a good idea. I tried to tiptoe gently to tell them not to bring Dave, but they were insistent, so I was frank with them. I told them I was uncomfortable with Dave coming, and I wanted to share my special day with them, not Dave. I tried to explain why I didn't think it was appropriate. At this point, things took a turn for the worse. We had a back and forth, which basically devolved into a fight. Eventually, they basically said they'd much rather not just come if they couldn't come as a couple. I said, great, then don't come. Yes, good. Good. No. First of all, that's your day. Second of all, those are your parents. Dave, good for them that they're all together. But like, if you just want your parents there, born and raised, is that wrong of me to think? Because, okay, if my parents got divorced and then they came with their respective partners, would I feel differently? It's just so weird that the person is as young as this person is. That's what's really, I think, throwing a wrench in the whole thing. For me, if it was like all three of them are the same age and they're just living their life, then fine. But having one that's like way younger to me, It pushes it into like a different realm for me. If you don't really talk to Dave that much and Dave isn't special to you, then why would Dave come? It's not your parents' day to bring everybody who's special to them. It's your day to bring everybody who's special to you. Not the asshole, I don't think. In my expert opinion. Do the parents also expect Dave to be in the photos? They probably do. I can't help but wonder if Dave has psychologically replaced OP, which is creepy. My thinking is that the parents want to use this as a coming out, seeing as all of the family is there, which is completely inappropriate. They may also be aware OP doesn't approve, and they think if they strong arm him into inviting Dave, then it's as good as him saying he accepts the relationship. Yikes. Imagine cutting it off with your parents because of some dude named Dave. I know that's not his real name, but still. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna leave it there because I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't even know if I'm actually gonna put this out because this felt really odd to me to like actually set it up and do. But I think I'm gonna get better at it. If you watch this, that's crazy. What are you doing here? And I'll have to post another video next week. So at some point, another video next week will come up in a week from now. If you want, like it, I don't know. Do what you want. Just don't bring Dave to my wedding. All right. Huzzah! How do I stop this?